Hi everyone, my name is Federico Quintero and welcome to my docu-series where I interview entrepreneurs around me and learn about what they do, how they got to where they are today, and life lessons that they learned along the way. And I hope you learned as much as I did while interviewing these entrepreneurs, and I hope you enjoy. Hi Roxana, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
Welcome to my interview where I ask local entrepreneurs about their job to teach kids of my age about what it's like being an entrepreneur. So first of all, can you tell me about what you do?
Okay, so my name is Roxana Muro. I am an immigration attorney. I've been practicing for about 21 years. I live here in Upland, California. I'm a mom of 3 children. They're 12, 11, and 8 years old. So it's a very active and busy life right now, but I'm very happy with what I do for a living, and then obviously with my children as well.
And did you have to study to get into this field of work?
So yes, I did. I just went a very traditional path. After I graduated from high school, I went straight to a 4-year university. I actually went to the University of Redlands, which is right here in Redlands, California. I majored in government with a minor in Spanish. And then I did take 1 year off because I wanted to go to law school. It seemed like I was pretty sure that's what I wanted to do, but it also seemed like it was very daunting and a lot of work. So I took 1 year off just to be able to not have to do much. Although I did take a job at the U.S. Attorney's Office. And then I went straight to law school for 3 years. That was, of all the schooling I've ever had, it felt like everything had been pretty much easy up until law school. That was very, very difficult. I'm a first generation American here in this country. My parents were immigrants, so I didn't grow up with attorneys in my life. I grew up in La Puente, California, so I did not know much other than what I had read and from movies that I had seen. But I graduated, and then you have to take a bar exam, and that was miserable too.
Are you able to describe to me this a bar exam?
So the bar examination, every state in the country administers a bar examination, except for Wisconsin, they don't have one. But you have to take an examination over the course of anywhere from 1 to 3 days. California is very notorious for having one of the most difficult bar exams. Their bar exam used to be 3 days, now it's 2. Other states usually do 1 or 2 days. And you have to just study, and after graduation, like you celebrate your graduation, you're happy, and then the next day you start bar review. And you go for about 8 to 10 weeks, and then you take this examination, and they test you on different types of legal subjects like torts and contracts, criminal law, criminal procedure, constitutional law, and you have to get a certain score so that you can pass and be able to practice law in the state that you're residing in.
Sounds very complex.
It was terrible.
Can you remind me about how long you studied?
So from college to law school, it was 7 years.
7 years.
Yes.
And would you consider this to be your dream job or dream career?
It is my dream job, and it is my dream career. I thought that I wanted to go to law school sometime even in elementary school. It seemed interesting to me. Well, I grew up with immigrant parents who were, sort of telling me, we're here for the American dream. Go to school, do your best, be a doctor, be an attorney. To them, that was like the best that you could be. It's not, every career is different. So that was sort of ingrained in me, but then I actually really fell in love with it. I remember being in high school, 12th grade, we did a trial, and I had to defend trolley workers that were on strike. And that was a really an amazing experience. I liked it. I had to study, I had to do direct examination. I really liked it. And so that ended up being what I wanted to do. And I'm so glad, because I do like what I do.
And with all the rigorous studying and the bar exam, did you have any mentors or people you looked up to during this time?
That is a really good question. I saw that question on your, you gave me a sheet with some of the questions that you thought you may ask me. And I thought that was a really interesting question, because I actually was reflecting on my life just even from when I was in school, in elementary school, like who influenced me, how did I get here? Obviously, my parents were a great influence on me, but I am Latina, I am Mexican American. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, well, mainly the 80s. So I'm older, but I didn't really have like Latinos that were powerful in my community that I could look up to. I was thinking about how that's changed so much over the last 40 years, and I'm so happy that that is not the case for my children, although I still think that as Latinos we have a long way to go. But that's such a great question, because I was thinking about my third grade teacher, Mr. Boats, and how he told me about Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, how I grew up. Hilda Solis was very important in my community. She was from La Puente, which is where I grew up as well. So we admired her, we looked up to her. And then once I was in school, I would say that my college professors, Professor Svensson, some of my high school teachers, Miss Johnson, she was my teacher and my counselor. These were people that I could reach out to who were sort of telling me, like, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to see, where you have to go, this is how you have to prepare. So my mentors were really my teachers and my counselors.
Can you describe to me what typically a work day looks like for you?
Well, I would say that at the beginning of my career, my workday was very long. I would work anywhere from 10 to 13 hours a day. I would really immerse myself in my work, and I really enjoyed it. So it was a lot, but I liked what I was doing. I represent immigrants in this country. A lot of them are seeking asylum in the United States. Some of them are being petitioned by family members. Other people are longtime permanent residents who may have committed a crime, a mistake, and in my opinion, they deserve a second shot to remain in the United States. So I like what I do. I'm always learning. Right now, we're having an influx of immigrants from Cuba. So here I am representing Cubans and sort of, again, learning about that particular area of the country. So in the beginning, it was like 10 to 12 hours a day. Now that I have my kids, it's funny because I probably work 40 hours a week now, which is still a lot, considering that I've been doing it for a long time and I have a lot of employees now. But luckily for me, I really like what I do.
So it's a lot of time, but you still enjoy it.
I still very much enjoy it, yes.
And at the end of the day, would you find yourself to be successful?
That is also I saw that question too, and I was thinking about it, and a lot of what I was thinking about has to do with me being a Latina and a first-generation American in this country. Am I successful? I think that I am. I'm very proud of where I am today, but sometimes I wonder, like, can I do more? Is this enough? Am I good enough? And maybe these are just some of the issues that I have with who I am in today's modern society. But yes, I do at the end of the day recognize and acknowledge that I am successful, and I'm very proud of how far I've come.
And do you have a specific definition of success?
That is, yes, I do. I was thinking about my kids. Sometimes they're talking about what they want to do, and my daughter said to me, "Mommy, I want to be a teacher when I grow up. Like, will you be proud of me if I become a teacher?" And I said, of course I will. I think that the definition of success, it isn't just, what degree do I have? Where did I go to school? How much money did I make? I think it encompasses not only what you are doing, what you're putting out there, but also how happy are you with what you're doing. Obviously, if I had parents who had pushed me to become a doctor and maybe I didn't like it, I would be pretty miserable. And so I think that a lot of it has to do with how, your own personal happiness, your own personal satisfaction.
And, back again, when you were studying, did you, when you were feeling down, did you have any ways to motivate yourself to keep going?
Yes, I recall Even from in college, high school, college, and law school. I think in high school and college, sports was what kept me happy. I swam in high school and in college. That kept me busy. That kept me focused on something else. It helped me really stress. Once I was in law school, probably, going to the gym, going on walks, that was a way for me to unwind. Nowadays, I would say that I like just peace and quiet. Like, if somebody takes my kids away for the day, I can just sit in my room. I like to read a lot, so I'll just read, relax, and then.
Do you also like to do like meditation or yoga? No,
I'm not a good meditator, and I'm not a good person who does yoga. I have a really hard time. In fact, it might be just because I'm always thinking about work, deadlines. I think that's one of the drawbacks of being an attorney, is thinking about deadlines. And then plus I work for myself. So if I probably worked for someone else, or if I had a government job, I could probably detach myself from work. And I should be doing that too. I should be learning healthier habits. I may be older, but it's never too late to learn healthier habits. But I think that it's important to be able to learn how to take care of yourself.
Now, I want to take you back around 2 or 3 years ago during the COVID-19 pandemic. Did you experience any challenges during this time, and were you able to overcome them?
Yes, I think that we all experienced challenges. It was all very different and new. For me, luckily, when I first started my very first job, I had a very tech-savvy employer who already had gone to a very paperless firm. It was 2002, and we used to scan everything up into our hard drives. And back then, the hard drives, they took up like a whole wall. Now we have cloud-based servers, so you don't even see your server anymore. But when COVID-19 happened, I was really lucky. I was pretty much, my technology was pretty much up to date. So we all went home. I think people literally took their desktops home to work. But it was very scary because I didn't know what was going to happen. The courts were closed. We didn't know at the time how long it was going to last. So there was definitely a lot of challenges that we had to do. We had to cut costs, try to be more efficient. And at the same time, a lot of us were home taking care of our families, our parents, our children. So there was a lot of challenges.
Earlier, I was hearing you mention how you really enjoy what you're doing. Is there a particular area you favorite?
Yes, I really like asylum law. That's an area of the law that I sort of stumbled into. Even in law school, we did these asylum trials during law school. My very first job was in Boston on the East Coast, and because of its geographic location, our clients were coming from different areas of the world, like Uganda, Haiti, parts of Russia. So I was dealing with these areas of the world that I didn't have a lot of knowledge about. So I had to learn about these countries. I learned them from my clients. I learned the atrocities that they had undergone. And then just being able to help them remain in this country forever was just such a wonderful feeling, because even to this day, no matter how many times I do it, whenever we win these cases and my client is so happy, I just feel so happy for them. And I've come to realize too, just the generational benefits that we are giving these families too. Like, they're going to be able to raise their children here. They're going to be able to potentially bring their family members into this country. And we've also saved them from, persecution or torture in their home countries.
So you have like a mission, basically.
Yes, I could say that. And then here in California, my clients are coming from Mexico, Central America. I speak Spanish. It's my native language, and so it's easy for me to communicate with them. But these are people also that are really escaping some horrible regimes, Nicaragua, the cartels in Mexico, and so just being able to again help them stay in this country is something that I really enjoy.
And do you feel like during all of your weird years of doing this, do you feel like you have grown mentally as a person?
Yes, for sure. I think that every year that goes by, I think there's professional growth. I think there's personal growth. For sure, I feel like I'm growing every year.
And I want to leave you with this question. What would you say to the 13-year-old you?
I love that question. I saw that question at the end and I really loved it because it forced me to think about myself at 13 years, and I think I was probably in junior high as well. And I was wondering, wow, what was I doing? Okay, I was at Sparks Junior High in La Puente, California. I was a pretty good student, but I don't think I had this idea that I would be where I was today. Definitely, I would tell myself that one day you're going to be great. You're going to be helping people. So and enjoy the ride. Don't worry so much. Don't worry so much. Just as long as you're doing the best that you can, you're going to be okay.
Well, thank you for coming here today to teach us about your field of work, and what you do is really inspiring to me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching my interview. And if you enjoyed what you watched, make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Bye, and see you next time.